Welcome to the Movie Draft Podcast. I am Ethan Simi, and today I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, Ben Lawhorn.
Hello.
And returning guest, Daniel Westheimer.
Hello, hello.
And today, we are drafting Star Wars characters in a regular style draft. Ben, how are you? What's going on, man?
I'm doing okay. I'm very happy to be here. This is a fun topic for sure. I think we're going to have a good time. Glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad that we get to talk about Star Wars together. Last time you were on the pod was for the Anne Hathaway collaborative draft.
Yes.
Still retain The Intern. Should have made the list. It's a 5-star masterpiece.
You had your fingers in that not happening. So
you bullied me. We don't need to relitigate this. You bullied me. I gave you exactly what you wanted at gunpoint, and I was forced to put out a list I didn't agree with. Daniel, welcome back to the pod, man. You're now a returning guest. Last time you were a first-time guest. Unfortunately, as a first-time guest, you lost the draft you were on, man. I'm so sorry.
I did, but here's the thing. I didn't know there was a poll also on Twitter. And so when I was following it on Instagram, I was like, it's neck and neck. It's neck and neck. And then I looked up on Twitter and I was like, oh, okay. Danny has a few more votes than I did, which actually makes sense. I actually think he should have won. So it's okay. I concede this one.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a draft or a poll everywhere. Whether you think so or not, it's all on all platforms. Yeah, the 2020 draft was really fun. I agree. Danny should have won, and frankly, you and I both agree. His first draft pick of Tenet probably ultimately sealed that before the draft even really took off. Yeah, so
100%.
Tough beat for you and I, but we are back to draft not Tenet, but another sci-fi type movie. We're here to draft Star Wars characters. Now, a lot of Star Wars talk going on recently because The Mandalorian and Grogu has come out. It is a movie that exists in theaters right now. We are recording this the day before this podcast will go live. So we're putting in the maximum prep time that we could for this Star Wars draft. Mm-hmm. We'll briefly talk about Mando and Grogu, briefly talk about some of the movies, but ultimately we are here to draft characters like we have never done before on the Movie Draft Pod. We have 10 categories lined up today. Normally we have 6 categories, teams of 6. We've never really diverged from that in the 100+ episodes. Today we're doing 10 categories, so it's going to be really, really fun. Ben, I'll start with you. Big picture question. What does Star Wars mean to you? And more specifically, I am curious for all three of us. Where are you at with Star Wars right now? Where is your personal relationship with Star Wars at right now? If you could just give me a flash in the pan.
Honestly, my brain is still stuck on Tenet. And I was like, has anyone that was in Tenet been in the Star Wars franchise? I can't think of anyone. Like the closest
I don't think so.
Kenneth Branagh at some point, but like I don't think he has. Like, I don't know. In the comments, if you can think of any, let us know. I think it's good trivia. I don't think anyone crosses over, but
we should. Why isn't Elizabeth Debicki in Star Wars? That's the real question we should be asking.
Yeah,
it should be great.
She belongs on Camino. Yeah, for sure.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I mean, Star Wars means a lot to me. I'm sure it's a similar story for a lot of people, but just the VHSs as a kid, and just like, oh, whoa, this is cool, and the bloopers of the stormtrooper hitting his head, walking down. It's like, that's kind of cool. That's funny. It's like an inside thing that I can tell people about, and you just like learn more and more about it and fall in love with it. I love Star Wars. I think it'll always hold a special place in my heart. It may not be as connected to me right now. I obviously love the OG trilogy quite a bit. The sequels were just not what I anticipated, obviously, when it came out. I think I was still just happy to have new Star Wars stuff, but they've grown on me over the years for sure. Or the prequels, I meant. Yeah, and then the sequels now, it's just like, I don't know. 1 out of 3 ain't bad, I guess. They did okay. But I'm also speaking as someone who has the actual Death Star tattooed on my body somewhere. So like I'm never gonna like completely be rid of Star Wars. I enjoy it. I love like Rogue One, and Solo is fun. Like I think they've done some fun stuff since the acquisition. But I don't know if the charm's ever coming back. But like, yeah, it's Star Wars. It's ubiquitous kind of.
Yeah. I also have a Star Wars tattoo, so it's never really going anywhere. Daniel, do you have a Star Wars tattoo?
No, I don't have a Star Wars tattoo,
Okay.
but I have it like tattooed on my soul in some ways.
Right.
That's more
Okay.
important.
Yeah, no, I think that ultimately is more important. Daniel, why don't you clue us in where you're at on Star Wars, what it means to you right now?
Yeah, I love Star Wars. I have my VHS box set on the shelf right there where I'm pointing.
I love that.
I remember who gave me that box set, where I was when I first watched them.
Mm-hmm.
And overall, I think there are more good Star Wars films than bad Star Wars films. I think that what makes Star Wars hard are the people that watch Star Wars, and how Star Wars has really changed with the internet changing. Like, I feel like we can connect Star Wars fandom to the rise of the internet, to message boards, all of those things. And my relationship to Star Wars in general is that, like, I love thinking about the concepts in it. I love thinking about the themes. I think it does a really good job of introducing really deep themes to children, because that's who these films, these television shows, these characters are for children. And I feel like it can really connect me back to that childlike wonder. And I love, like, the gray Jedis, the grayness of things, the morality questions. And I think that the acquisition did bring some really good things. Like, number one, George Lucas got to walk away with his billions and didn't have to touch things anymore. Because I know that there's these rose-colored glasses when it comes to George Lucas's Star Wars, and I don't have those glasses on. I really don't. But I think, especially with stuff like Rogue One or The Last Jedi, there was some really interesting stuff going in there. It's just they got scared. They got really scared, and it has made it so I don't tune in to everything anymore. There are TV shows I would have watched every single one of those TV shows back in the day, and now it's kind of like the Marvel stuff where I'm like, do I have to watch that one? Okay, that one kind of feels like homework. And anytime they do something like really cool or original, I feel the internet is so loud about it that then, whether it's Kathleen Kennedy or Dave Filoni, they get scared, or they care about the things that I'm less interested in. And then I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go hang out with Tony Gilroy and I'll be good. So that's where I'm at with Star Wars now, is I'll pick and choose.
Yeah, I find myself in a similar boat to you guys. I think the three of us all share a very similar sentiment. Raised on Star Wars, ultimately shaped the way we view sci-fi, the way we view movies as kids. Daniel, like you, I mean, I've talked about this on the pod several times, but like, I had The Empire Strikes Back on VHS and I watched it every day, every single day. Like, I was enjoying being on Hoth every single day. And it was the coolest thing as an 8-year-old kid to be like, holy shit, this is awesome. Like, I can just be in this movie whenever I want. And that was cool. And I remember going to the opening night of Revenge of the Sith with my friends and in my local hometown, and people applauding afterwards. I had no clue any of the discourse going on with the prequels and George Lucas and these things that adults who we are now were discussing at that period in time, right? So like it totally, it's a huge cyclical societal conversation that goes on with Star Wars. And I think, to your point, Daniel, of Disney buying it and kind of what we all said about Dave Filoni, Kathleen Kennedy, ultimately the Mouse House chickening out and doing things the way that they thought fans wanted them done instead of themselves. I think there's a lot of things to say about Star Wars. And, I have seen The Mandalorian and Grogu, so I'll do a quick 90-second spoiler-free review here in just a minute. But I think it's a really interesting thing now where, especially, and it feels a little bit tied to this, there's this rise in adoration for physical media, right? We all have this adoration, but it's kind of growing outside of our zone a little bit, where people are like, it's nice just to put in a Blu-ray and put in a VHS tape and not have to sign in to something or reset a password or worry about my Wi-Fi. And I have found myself in the last few years with Star Wars especially coming out with things like Andor, things like The Acolyte, a show that I really enjoyed, that Daniel actually tackles things that you talked about, this moral ambiguity, this gray zone of the Jedi. I think Star Wars is so good at that particular thematic world building. And I have found those things best enjoyed cylindrically by myself, in a silo a little bit, where I don't have to make a video about them. I don't have to talk about them on a podcast, and I don't have to write about them. I just get to basically be like, that was cool. I liked that. And this is what Star Wars is to me. And I think all together, maybe more people should enjoy Star Wars like that. I think we should all just talk about Star Wars less. Nonetheless, we're here to draft for probably about 2 hours and talk about Star Wars and its deep character lore. So we are part of the problem. But I agree. I think Star Wars, it's been said time and time again and will continue to be said next year when Ryan Gosling and Sean Levy's Starfighter comes out and whatever is going to come after that. The direction of Star Wars, what we're doing with Star Wars theatrically, on television, on Disney Plus, the creative directors behind it, the creative team, all of those things will just continue to be, talking points that we can't seem to get out under. And so you're right, Ben. I think there will never be that magic again that the original trilogy captured for us when we were kids. And I think that's why I'm so excited to show my kids what Star Wars is. Right now, I know this is not Star Wars related, but right now we are going through the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans. We started Spider-Man 3 this morning. My 8-year-old, she is so convinced that Spider-Man lives in New York City. Those movies are so magical. And so to know that I get to live that with Star Wars is going to be really exciting as well. Mando and Grogu. You guys haven't seen this movie.
Yes. Yeah, how much did we miss?
Well, so you didn't miss anything. And in fact, you're better than me because you got to spend 2 hours and 20 minutes doing something else. And that is better than watching The Mandalorian and Grogu. Essentially a condensed season 4 of a show called The Mandalorian, a show that I used to like. I watched the first couple of seasons, thought it was quite good. Didn't watch season 3. Came back for this movie. I don't know what I missed, and frankly, I don't think it matters. And again, this is a great kind of flash in the pan to pinpoint maybe where we're at with Star Wars. I don't think Disney knows what they want to do with Star Wars, and so that is incredibly frustrating. I don't think there's a lot to say about this movie other than the fact, like, I was bored out of my mind, and I genuinely think, and somebody please comment or tag me, or maybe we can discuss this as we go in the character draft, but like, tell me I'm wrong. I think The Mandalorian at large is one of the least interesting one-dimensional characters that Star Wars has ever made. People are talking about him having so much character growth in this movie. He just finds things and then brings them back to other people. That's what we did for 2 hours and 20 minutes. There's an immense amount of CGI that is so boring. And the last thing that I will say about Mando Grogu, and then I'll hop down off my Star Wars pedestal here so we can draft, is that it is no secret Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have come out and said, like, they had so much fun making this movie. They got to bring their action figures to life and do the things that they did as kids with action figures. And I think that is really heartwarming and very cool. The movie is also exactly that. It's just weird creatures and characters being like, we have to shoot this person. That is ultimately the least interesting part of Star Wars to me. And there is an argument to be made out there, and I've heard it loud and clear on social media, that Mando Grogu is a movie for kids. A New Hope is also a movie for kids, guys. Empire Strikes Back is also a movie for kids. And we were doing very complex, exactly what you said, Daniel, complex thematic ideas, introducing those to children and not giving them essentially doom-scrolling slop that Super Mario Galaxy has also done this year. So all that to say, this movie is abysmal, and I'm glad that we're not doing a collaborative draft. It would be last, in my opinion. It would be last.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll just say that.
Without a doubt. I mean, I feel that way anyway, but like, what did you get? 1.5 stars on Letterboxd? Something like that?
1.5 stars. And I know people are being a little bit more generous because Ludwig Göransson does cook with the score. I totally agree. I can only imagine him being like, this is a complete waste of my time. I'm doing the same theme for something I've done for the last 7 years, and I got to get this done. He's very good at what he does. He is ultimately the best composer in the game right now. It just does not match the quality of the content that we're seeing on screen. And so it's a little discombobulating. Are you guys planning on seeing this at all? Or are you just going to skip it?
Maybe on a plane.
I love that. I think it's great.
I was going to see it if we were going to do the collaborative draft. But as soon as we switched over to character draft, it is been deprioritized. There are other movies on the slate coming up that call me more. And I watched season 3. I know you skipped it.
Okay.
And I didn't have a fun time with that. I felt like season 1 and 2 were really, really solid. But once kind of Filoni felt like he took the reins a little bit more and started throwing in so many characters from his extended universe,
Yeah.
the movies and the TV show and I'm assuming the movie just feel like they lose a lot of the substance that they especially had in the beginning of the show.
I'll give a minor spoiler that doesn't impact the Star Wars universe at all. There is a 3-second cutaway to Dave Filoni in a bar on a planet in Mandalorian and Grogu in his cowboy hat. And at that moment I knew this isn't fun anymore. And I think we put the wrong person in charge.
Yeah, that's why.
No offense to a guy that's devoted his whole life to Star Wars, but it's fundamentally different than Lucas. Nonetheless, we're not doing a collaborative draft here. We talked about this in our group chat and we thought, we know how the bottom 4 are going to shake. There's not a lot of conversation there to be had. We can fight about The Last Jedi. We can talk about Empire Strikes Back versus Return of the Jedi and all of these other things. Maybe better served Star Wars wise to do a character draft. So that's what we're going to do today. 10 categories of a character draft. Any strategies going into this? Does 10 categories change your strategies for a draft versus 6?
I'll let Daniel speak first.
I mean, I think there are so many things that can go into multiple categories.
Yes.
At least many characters can go into at least 2 categories. But the world is so wide that I could name a planet that you two have never heard about and it could be on the board. So there are certain categories, either the planet category, I mean, we'll go through them, but like there are certain categories where the bench is so deep that I'm not too worried, but there are specific ones where I feel like this has to be a first or second round pick in order for someone to win. The kind of like the tenet of this round, there are 1 or 2 picks that I feel like if you don't have that on the board, the chances of winning get like cut in thirds.
Yeah, it does feel like there's some obvious ones, but again, because you said like the amount of characters and items that we're going to be talking about, it's just like, all right, well, if they take those 2, then I'll take the third best weapon, which is still fucking awesome, like, so yeah, it's just like, you really just got to prioritize exactly what you want. I was curious to do the collaboration with you guys only because like, I feel like I'm one of the few people that has Solo in the top half of his Star Wars rankings. And I know a lot of people don't feel that way, but like, I don't know, I had fun with it. It was good. So I think, not to show my hands, but I'll be talking about that movie at some point in this draft for sure.
Ooh, that's fascinating. Okay, I like that. I'll talk about for the collaborative draft that we did last time. It remains the sole episode of the Movie Draft Podcast where I did not partake in the draft. I was merely a mediator. I had the wonderful guys from Reckless Rebels on the draft, and we did the collaborative draft way back in episode 17. So over 100 episodes ago, we talked about Star Wars collaborative draft. And I hate to tell you, Ben, that Solo landed at number 8. It did not land entirely high at the time.
Not even double digits. I'm kind of surprised. I was anticipating you tell me 10 or something.
So yeah, we had some interesting takes. It was a great episode. Really, really fun stuff. Go back and listen if you're interested in how that shook out. But I have a feeling some of our less populist opinions will get revealed as we go through some of these characters and some of the movies that we maybe gravitate towards. I know myself in prepping for this draft, I feel similarly to you guys where there are definitely an S tier of characters where if you don't have one of those characters on your team, I don't think you even have a remote shot at winning this draft. But my heart is constantly drawing me to the projects that I like the most and the characters associated with those narrative ideas. So that'll be interesting to see. Like you said, Ben, like if you end up going to Solo a lot, if I end up going to a movie that I hold near and dear to my heart a lot. Prep work, Daniel, you were doing some prep work, and then I lied to you about when we were recording, and I stole you away from your prep work.
Yeah. I mean, I was just throwing on the best Star Wars film while I was working on my kind of drafting order. So I had Empire on just to have it on.
Nice.
Didn't watch all of it, but I got to be on Hoth for a while, so I was pretty happy. Other than that, I just, went category by category being like, what comes to mind first? Like, what do I go to first. And then I looked at like some, quarter articles or other things like that, just in case I was missing something. But overall, some of these things, I don't have the tattoo, but I do have the shirt. I have like some of these things just come to you. And so you just know what the characters or the planets or the weapons are gonna be right off the bat.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't do any prep work. I mean, I guess I did the most amount of prep work out of all of us. I did watch the Mando and Grogu movie. So I'm really putting in the time for Star Wars here. But I took a similar stance as you, Daniel. I just went through each category and I was just like, what are the 5 things I think of first when we do this thing? Really, in order to be eligible for this draft, it's got to be something in the Star Wars universe, character or otherwise. That's what it has to be. But there is a caveat to that. We have agreed it has to be in the film universe. It cannot be in the television universe. So this most prominently, I think, excludes things like Andor and Ahsoka, Rebels, and the Clone Wars. These things take place on television. We are, after all, the Movie Draft podcast, a topic of discussion more often than I thought would ever happen on this, where people try to petition to draft things in TV. It's in the title. So we're going to stick to the movies. You guys cool with that?
Yep. Theatrical released movies. Yep.
Theatrically released movies. Yes, indeed. Okay. 10 categories. So that means we're going to be drafting 30 things in total between the 3 of us, snake style, as we do always. Drafter 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, and so on and so forth. Regular style draft. Nothing crazy. Shall we do the categories?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So here are the 10 categories. Now, remember, it is going to be a character unless otherwise stated. So our first 3 categories are going to be prequel, original trilogy, and sequel. These are going to be characters within those triumvirate of films. Then we have hero, villain. Then we have vehicle, planet, weapon. These are going to be the 3 non-character categories, of course. We have a hear me out category. That would be a little bit fun. 3 dudes talking about Star Wars. See where our brains take us after about 2 hours of talking about weird shit. And then, of course, we do have a wild card category. So that could be character or not. It could be something in Star Wars. Whatever you want that to be, I suppose. Okay. I feel pretty good. I feel really excited. And I am definitely nervous about the order of the draft. I think it's imperative to get pick number 1. But having said that, is there a first round pick in your mind?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There's stuff I feel like I need to take as soon as possible, but yeah.
Yeah. But not maybe number 1 overall.
Yeah, it's like, do I want to be on the turn? Do I want to get 2 of the best 4 picks, or do I want to get the number 1 pick? There's
Yeah, true. Okay. Well, Ben, do you have the wheel of names, perhaps? That we can throw in?
Let's get that.
Okay. We're going to spin. This is not pre-recorded. This is 100% live. Okay.
Here we go.
Let's see what happens. Ben, you kind of got me wanting the turn now. God damn it.
Too bad.
As soon as I said it. It's unbelievable. Guy, okay, listeners know, and you guys know too, I bungle the first pick every time I get it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a free pick for Daniel and I. Oh, is he getting the
Exactly.
turn? Damn it. All right. Good
Wow.
job.
Damn, Daniel.
Stuck right now.
Amazing. Okay. I'm going to be drafting first. Ben, you're going to be going second. And Daniel, you are going to be on the turn.
Yeah.
Okay. You feeling okay about that?
It was the one place I didn't want. There are 2 things that I think like are the 1 and 2, and I'll be very surprised if those 2 are not taken. If they aren't, then I'll be happy with the turn. But those are the 2 things that I'll be pretty bummed not to have.
Okay. I'm excited.
Okay, let's commence the Star Wars character draft here on the Movie Draft podcast. I'm going to go first. I think what is so interesting about this draft is that so many things can go in so many different categories. And I think there is a real category strategy to be played here with certain things. And I'm really trying to do my best with that, to get all of the things that I want and play smart about where I place them. So having said that, in original trilogy character, I'm going to be picking what I think is arguably the singular, arguably could be the interesting point here. I'm curious your guys' take. The singular most influential character to come out of Star Wars. And I'm going to be taking Darth Vader in original trilogy character category.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah. This is what I thought was the number one draft pick overall.
I feel good about that. Ben?
Is there a reason you took him there over villain? Because you can't switch now, but I was going to take him as villain if you hadn't taken him. Because I'm like, this is the villain. Like,
fair. Totally fair. And I actually see where you're coming from. Would have been a little bit smarter. There's so many villains that I want on my team.
Yeah.
So I just didn't want to fill that category per se.
That makes sense.
And I do think from a trilogy perspective, I know you could argue this about each trilogy in their own way, but like, I know it's the Skywalker saga and narrative, but like that they work because of Darth Vader. Like if you don't have Darth Vader, you don't, these movies don't work.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I wanted to take it in OG trilogy.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. Pretty cool guy.
This whole thing is like the whole series is the Anakin Skywalker story, really, right? Like it's all about him. So yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm happy with that. You guys were a little lackluster in my announcement, but that's okay. I'll give you a pass. Don't worry.
I was ready to come out of my mouth. I was hoping you'd say literally anything else. So I was just like, all right, well, that's
it just felt inevitable. This,
Yeah.
That was a good pick.
Speaking of villains,
have either of you heard the Patton Oswalt bit about the prequel trilogy that he did?
Is this the Parks and Rec bit that you're talking about?
No, this is like one of the stand-up bits where he talks about George Lucas pitching the prequels. He's like, you love Darth Vader, right? Like, yeah, oh, fuck, I would love more movies about Darth Vader. It's like, cool. We're going to focus on him as a kid. This little 7-year-old. And Patton's like, that's like asking someone like, hey, you want to know more about Angelina Jolie? You should look at John Voight's balls. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of like what that is. Yeah, it's a great pick. All right, I'm going to go hero. Okay. I'm going to go with like the dude, like he's the reluctant hero, but he's my favorite part of this whole thing, and that's Han Solo. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take him with my first pick. It's obviously just the Harrison Ford, like, of it all. He's fantastic. It's the charm for me of like Star Wars, like especially like his connection with Leia and all that kind of stuff, and then seeing him come back and forth was kind of fun. So yeah, I don't know. He's just like, he's the guy. He's the dude, and I for me, these were the first two. So yeah, I'm glad to have Han on my team.
Yeah,
those are the one and the two. That's the one.
Okay. Yeah, those are the one and the two for sure. There's something incredibly special. I know we could turn this entire pod into like a Han Solo pod. Like we could easily talk about any of these characters for an extended amount of time. I did rewatch the sequel trilogy recently for a couple of podcasts with the rolling tape that I did, and I will say rewatching The Force Awakens even now and seeing Harrison Ford come back and go, Chewie, we're home, as soon as he steps on the Millennium Falcon, that they got it so right. Like, in my opinion, they just absolutely nailed that magic, and which makes every other, moment that they don't nail it so much more frustrating because they knew what they were doing at that period in time. It is truly one of the most iconic and like synonymous actor to character movie parts, of all time.
Yeah. That's what he is, right? Harrison Ford, he's Han Solo, he's Indiana Jones, like he's those things.
Yeah.
Like that's
I can't believe he's both of those things. That's crazy, right? Like I feel like we take that for granted.
Yeah.
Yeah, his 80s run though. I mean, he's those, and then he can do Witness. That's what I'm saying. Like
right. And then he can do The Fugitive. Yeah.
Then he can do The Fugitive. And I also don't think that Alden is the worst part of Solo. Like I don't think that Alden should be to blame for why Solo doesn't completely work.
Not at all.
It was fun to hang out with Han Solo for an adventure, and I would have watched the whole trilogy that they had planned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally agree with you guys.
doubt.
I think he's a great young Solo. I think he's really, really good. Okay, well, that's the one and the two. I think we all kind of knew that. This will be interesting. Daniel, what's
also,
the 3
we're
and
gonna
the
go
4?
off on a tangent, but weren't Lord and Miller doing Solo before they got booted for Ron Howard. Like
They were.
Mhm.
Yeah.
there was flares of them in there. It would've been so it's another like Edgar Wright Ant-Man thing. It's like, man, what could have been if
Yeah.
they made that movie? But yeah, all right, sorry. I just was like,
No,
am I
it's
too
it's
high
such
or
a
am I remembering this? But yeah.
it's such a fascinating tangent too, because Lord and Miller just came out with Project Hail Mary, which is a
Yeah.
complete success, an absolute smash, a movie set in
Mhm.
space.
Yeah.
And you can only imagine Solo probably would have been much more coherent and box office successcul if
Yeah, it would've
they
been
would have
interesting.
gotten the chance to stick it out. And frankly, like, think about the dominoes to that effect. Lord and Miller make Solo. What does that change the trajectory of their career? How does that change the
Mhm.
trajectory of Solo spinoff projects if
Yeah,
that's
that's true. You probably don't
financially
get
successful?
Project Hail Mary at this point. They're probably tied into the
True,
Also,
but then we probably get a Kira movie. We probably get the things that we're planning in the future. I think
That's true.
a big what if.
And different characters too. Michael Kenneth Williams was originally the main baddie
Mhm.
of Solo before they had to put Jarvis in there.
Yeah.
And he wasn't bad, but like Michael Kenneth Williams, I think is on another level. And I think
Oh,
that
for
would've been
sure.
really
Yeah,
really
yeah.
interesting. And I'm just trying to kill time while I really try to find my pick. But
Right.
man, okay. I'm also going to go to OG character, OG
Okay.
trilogy character. And it's interesting when I picture this character, I actually don't maybe think about him in the OG trilogy anymore. I think like my image of him
Oh.
has been replaced, but I still think that without his performance, without this character, the original trilogy would not work. And I think especially in the prequel trilogy and this, I think Obi-Wan Kenobi is
Yeah.
one of the things that ties the entire saga together. Having Alec Guinness in those movies really helps you like hear the mumbo jumbo and take it seriously.
Yeah.
And I think Ewan McGregor, like I wish you could have the graphic be Ewan McGregor's face for this, but you can't. But like I think Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi is just like one of the most charming performances. And unlike some other actors, he is able to make some of Lucas's dialogue work.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is an
Wait,
interesting
so
pick.
you're taking the Alec Guinness version though, right?
I mean, I have to because it's
Yeah.
OG trilogy.
I didn't know if you were doing prequel or OG.
No.
but,
I'm doing OG just because I didn't think that because he wasn't introduced in prequel. I guess I could. I wasn't
Okay.
sure if he could be in prequel.
You could.
we could have?
I
Oh,
mean,
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
No
it's-
rules. I mean,
yeah.
you could. I am up for, if you want to swap, I will allow you to swap.
Or if you're holding out for Jar Jar, I mean,
Save
that spot
I'm
open.
gonna keep him. I'm gonna keep him in OG trilogy character.
Cool.
But that did open up things. I guess a question I have
Yeah.
based on that is, now that Darth is off the board, is Anakin off the board?
I don't think so. I would
feel like two
petition that
different
they're two different
characters.
characters. Like if you were to draft Anakin in prequel, that's totally different character than Darth in OG, in my opinion.
That's so.
But
unexpected.
I don't know. What do you
It's
guys?
so
What do you?
unexpected.
That's
what do you
honestly
want?
what I was thinking. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I'm going prequel character Anakin Skywalker for my my
Fuck.
second pick there.
That
Hell yeah.
sucks. Damn
That's
it.
so good.
I did not think you were just going to send it right now.
Well,
I thought you
I
were just
just
going to
asked
sit
it, I
on
put
that
it in
info
the
and then I
air.
could get it. Damn it.
That's so good.
Okay. All right. Well done. Well done. Okay. Did either of you see Revenge of the Sith in the re-release a year plus ago?
No.
Theatrically? No? Okay. I hadn't seen it for a long time. Revisited it in the theater. Went with my brothers. It was a great time when I was home. And there's something so good about Anakin in Revenge of the Sith that ultimately like coalesces into something that I think extends obviously far beyond the prequel trilogy itself, but like beyond the pantheon of villains within Star Wars and film. Anakin in the prequels is really, really good stuff. At least in the third movie, it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Can I specify that I'm drafting third movie Anakin Skywalker?
I want Pod Racer Anakin, please. Are you an angel? Yeah. All right. Well, so this feels kind of weird because like in any other draft, that means like, oh, cool. All the OG characters, I can just hold on that till the end. But the character I want kind of fits into other areas. So I can't wait. This wasn't necessarily intentional, but I'm gonna take Princess Leia for OG trilogy. I mean, I'm looking at her on our background right now. Like that's how iconic she is. You know, it's just it's Princess Leia. It's this Leia. You know, for the horny people out there, it's Jabba Leia, the slave Leia. You know, so there's all different versions. But I think she's such a badass and just such a vital, important part of this entire franchise. I know I don't get the sequel version of her, but like the fact that like she still resonated then was, I think, fantastic. Carrie Fisher is just a badass on her own. So I'm happy to have her in any way, shape, or form on my team. So yeah, I'll take OG trilogy, Princess Leia for sure.
Okay, you have Han Solo and Princess Leia Organa. That's intense so far.
Not what you want.
Does that mean I get Ben by default? Do I get Kylo Ren? Is that how this works?
Absolutely not. Okay, I do have a couple of questions. And I did, like I said, I think this is a great talking ground for Star Wars at large, but I also think this is a great technical talking ground for how this draft potentially could break, because we were just like, more categories, the better. So because, Daniel, you drafted Obi-Wan Kenobi, now he can't be drafted in prequel. So the Ewan McGregor version is off the board, which I thought was interesting because that is my preferred version of Obi-Wan. He obviously can't be drafted in Hero. Can't be drafted in Hear Me Out. Like we can't, like he's off the board entirely for any category. I have a question though. Because Leia was just drafted, does that mean that Slave Leia is also off the board for the Hear Me Out category?
Yes.
Also, that's like the complete opposite of the hear me out.
Yeah, that's not like
category.
hear me out though. That's like
the most obvious answer.
I was just trying to use it to make an obvious
I don't
point.
know, like she's kind of.
What do we think, guys?
Think about it objectively.
Yeah, no, she's out. She's off the board.
She's off the board.
That's like the one character that wouldn't qualify for Hear Me Out.
Well, neither would Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is the problem with my Hear Me Out shortlist. It's just not even remotely Hear Me Out. It's just this person's hot. So I might have to wait until the end so I can restructure some of my Hear Me Outs.
I'm just saying, you said we have to make it weird, so I went weird with mine. We'll get there, but I went weird.
Oh, you guys went weird. Shit. Okay.
That's what Hear Me Out is now.
I get it, guys. I know what Hear Me Out is. I just wanted to draft hot people.
It's just the hottest people in the world.
Every single one is ultimately hot. Shit. Okay. So I've got 2 picks right now, and I have to figure out, and I actually need you guys to vamp for me because my wife is picking out contact solution for me at Fred Meyer, and she needs my input stat. Talk more about Slave Leia.
Or just how you misunderstand the category.
I'll go in a different direction than talking about that character. There's so many like weird Hear Me Out characters that I'm excited to talk about once we get there, though.
Oh, same. Yeah, I have one on my list. I honestly, I have a list of 1, and I really hope I get it, because if not, then I'm gonna have to like figure something out. But
you have a list of 1?
Yeah, it's like kind of obvious, but I don't know how obvious it is. So I don't know.
I need you guys to draft that category first, is ultimately what needs to happen. Okay, so Han Solo, Leia just got drafted. Obi-Wan, Anakin off the board. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well, I think, what do we do? What do we do? In Hero, I'm going to be drafting Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the right pick for this moment in time.
Do you ever feel bad for him that he's the final pick out of all the original characters, right? Like, do you notice that like Leia got off the board, Han Solo off the board, Vader off the board. Then
I was kind of wondering if he was going to get picked at all, to be honest. Like,
wow, really? Oh, interesting, guys. Interesting. No, he was pretty high on my short list. I think as a hero, he's a great pick for this category, specifically for the discourse that happens with The Last Jedi. I think like he is such a pristine, clean and clear hero in the original trilogy, and everything that we talk about with the lore of Star Wars, and then we get to The Last Jedi, and it's like maybe that has troubled him, and maybe it has caused him trauma, and maybe he is not the pristine hero we once thought he was. And I love that. I think that's fantastic. He's still a hero. He's everything we get. Obviously, I drafted him a hero, so I get like all versions. Everything we get in the OG trilogy with him, training, everything that we get in the sequel trilogy, I think is all great. I love Luke.
Yeah.
But like you said, he's kind of the last pick of the litter all the time.
Yeah, unfortunately, but he had to end up somewhere, I think. So makes sense.
Okay. Well, now that we kind of got the first round off,
I mean, look at that list. It's all the heavy hitters, right? Like if you think of Star Wars, like name the first six people you think of in Star Wars. All right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Or the big ones. I want to go to another category where I think there is a clear number one pick. So in vehicle, I'm going to be drafting the Millennium Falcon. I think this is not only such a cool vehicle, but a great story with kind of the junky ship that manages to complete things faster than it should and be quicker and smaller and less seen than it should. Everything really cool and important basically happens because of the Millennium Falcon. And I think that's not to be understated. So drafting it here.
Yeah, it's the vehicle, I think. So it makes sense.
Okay. You guys think you could drive the Millennium Falcon?
I mean, my experience at Disneyland has said yes, but who knows?
There we go. You more experience than I have.
Yeah,
I think so
no
cool,
doubt.
though.
Oh, dude. The thing's sick. I didn't get to do that ride at Disneyland, but we did do Rise of the Resistance, which is not flying per se or steering, but
yeah, it's fun though.
Still a good time.
Yeah.
They fly now. They fly now.
They fly now.
Speaking of Solo, I think Millennium Falcon storyline in Solo is great as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Winning it from Mando.
Agree.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
So here's a question I'm going to throw out to you, gentlemen.
Oh, God.
Well, I don't know. Like, does it qualify for two or only one? I don't know. It's a technical question. So I'm going to be taking the Death Star.
It qualifies for two.
Qualifies for
it's
two.
a vehicle and a super weapon, right? Like
and
it's
a weapon.
both of those things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now that the Falcon's gone, I think I'm going to throw it into vehicle.
Okay.
I like it more. There's just so many more fun weapons to draft as opposed to fun vehicles for me. So I'd rather fill up that category and save weapon for later. Plus, as a weapon, it's like got some weak spots that might be exposed at some point. So it may not
One
be
or
like
two.
the most indestructible weapon ever. Powerful, sure. But glaring hole with that blueprint. So yeah, but I'll take it as a vehicle because for the most part, it functions pretty well as a vehicle. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, travels a lot of people through the galaxy.
A lot of people
on that thing.
Yeah. It
Not
almost
the
looks
brightest
like a planet.
engineers.
That's how big it is,
Almost looks like a planet. Can you guys remind me, what is the name of the one in the sequel trilogy where they were just like, let's make the Death Star but bigger?
It's frick, because it's the same name that Luke Skywalker originally had. Star Killer.
Star Killer.
Star Killer Base. Yeah, Star Killer Base. Now that's a weapon. I would think that's primarily a weapon. I wouldn't view that really as a vehicle.
Yes, it's in two different categories. It's weapon and it's planet. Because they took the planet where they originally were getting kyber crystals, where they actually go in the Clone Wars TV show. The little alien doohickeys go get their kyber crystals to bleed them, not to bleed them because they're not evil, to kind of make friends with them, and then they turned it into this Starkiller base.
Nice.
Okay. Interesting.
Right.
Yeah, I had a Death Star as my weapon, as my first weapon pick.
Cool.
So that's off my board now.
Okay. I am going to go to villain first.
Ooh.
I don't know. I feel like while there are more humans overall, Some of them are lower tier or higher tier. And this is somehow the most important villain of the series, even though he's maybe not the most, he's not Darth Vader, but he is. Have you ever heard the story of Darth Sidious the Wise? We're going Darth Sidious here. The Emperor Palpatine himself, Sheev, as my villain.
Nice.
I'm going to put Emperor Palpatine on the graphic.
Yeah.
If you're okay with that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people know his name is Darth Sidious, but
yeah, I feel like that's a surefire. Like if you mention Darth Sidious or Darth Plagueis, you're like, oh, okay, wait. So you move a little extended beyond the movies. Good to know. Yeah. Somehow Palpatine returned. How are we feeling about that, guys?
Not great.
Years later.
Not great, Bob.
Not great. How are you guys feeling? I know we might talk about it, we might not, but where are you guys at on Exegol as a planet?
Nah.
Pro? No, you're out.
Con.
Wow. Why is that?
I think anything that happened in that film
just the film at large
doesn't work. I mean, they have Richard E. Grant in that film, and the film doesn't work.
Yeah, they do. It's insane.
That shows the failure of a film.
Yeah, yeah. Hilarious. He has like 3 speaking lines, and he gets fucking choked out. It's crazy. Okay, Emperor Palpatine and villain. Yeah, arguably, I mean, this is where you get down to the semantics of Star Wars. Like, arguably more important than Darth Vader, right? Because like Palpatine ultimately creates the cloning program, which then gives us Snoke, which then gives us Kylo, and you can go down all of these routes with the tiers of how this works. But it's a good villain. You have another pick though, man.
I do. I mean, I was gonna go with another character, but now that Weapon has been opened up, I feel like I haven't gotten a lot of my number one seeds for a lot of these categories. So I do have to go to my number one seed for Weapon, which is the lightsaber. I'm not going specific. I want all of them. So I'm not gonna
Okay, Mallory Rubin, let's relax a little bit here. You can't have all the lightsabers.
I mean, no, I think I can. If you can have all the Death Stars. It's not like we're saying Death Star 1 versus Death Star 2. So yeah, lightsaber is the weapon here that I'm going with.
Does that take out specific iterations of lightsabers? So I can't draft a character's specific lightsaber now.
I would say
chose
it takes
lightsaber at
out.
large.
I would say takes out.
Damn it.
Specific. Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
I gotta restructure my category here a little bit.
Same.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Very wise, Daniel. Excellent pick.
Thank you.
I had Kylo's lightsaber on my weapon. That was my number 2 seed.
You like the hilt?
Love the hilt. Huge fan of the lightsaber kind of cross look. It's great.
I had Maul's double light.
So good.
Dual saber.
That was, I think, the coolest thing to come out of the prequels. Like seeing that in the theaters, like, whoa, you can do that. Like, that's awesome. So that's what I was going to draft. But yeah, obviously now I can.
Yeah.
If we're talking favorite lightsabers, mine's actually from the TV shows. It's Ahsoka Tano's double. Like, she takes the bled like red lightsabers and she healed them, so they're white. And I just think that's so badass.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah, that actually raises an important question. Can Ahsoka be drafted here?
Yes, but because she was in 2 different movies.
Whoa, okay. Was she really?
She was a voice in Rise of Skywalker speaking to Rey, which basically confirmed that she's dead, even though
nobody knew about her. Yeah, exactly.
And then she is also in the Clone Wars TV show movie, which was theatrically released as a film, was in theaters in 2008, which is when the Jeremy Allen White character first debuted.
You truly are going full Mallory Rubin. I respect that so much. You're following in the steps of greatness. I have a weapon on my short list that I'm not concerned will be drafted in the slightest. Might actually be my last pick. And it's my favorite weapon in the whole Star Wars universe. Okay, Ben. Wow, we're cruising through this. Almost 4 rounds done.
Well, I mean, the only way to get his lightsaber is to draft him. So I'll take Darth Maul and
damn it!
Villain?
That was my next pick, man.
Trying to figure out where to put him.
I had him in prequel.
Do you have him prequel? I mean, it's the coolest part of the prequels, I think.
Fuck.
Yeah, let's throw him in prequel. Darth Maul.
Good.
I gotta have the dual lightsaber, you know?
You suck.
I don't know what
so
to say
cool,
about Darth
man.
Maul.
Did either of you watch his new show?
I
No.
haven't yet. I heard it's good though.
I've heard like really good things
Really?
about
Nice.
it. I think that his arc in Clone Wars was one of the coolest things to watch, especially his relationship with his brother and him versus Ahsoka. That battle in season 8 is just like one of the coolest. Like every year, my Facebook reminds me that I was a nerd and posted about that on Facebook.
That's awesome.
Because I was like, this is why you need to watch Clone Wars. It's this battle right here. And then also when he is in Rebels, I think that he has a really, really wonderful relationship with Ezra. The kind of dual kind of almost mentor relationship. It's really fun to see him in this. Really, again, with the gray, I think Rebels does the best job. That's why I was like, Dave Filoni, you know how to do interesting stuff. Why are you not doing it? Because Rebels deals with the gray so much. And now it just feels like once he went into live action, they moved away from all that gray.
Yeah, I find it incredibly frustrating that Darth Maul is such a prominent character in so many television narratives and not in movies, considering he's like easily one of the coolest looking characters and obviously has a background to support such great narrative depth. And that's so annoying. I thought it was sick in Solo because I rewatched Solo as well. I was like, yo, like, give us the Solo sequel. Like, let us find out what goes down with Darth Maul at this point in time. Like, he's taking over for Dryden Voss and he's taking over for this syndicate. And then obviously we never got that. Dang. Okay.
Well,
Darth
could
Maul
have
off the
been.
board. Huh. Yeah, that really was my next pick, Ben. You really did me in on that one. You went 2 prominent Jedis and then you just left turn signal to the dark side for 2 picks.
Got out of there. Yep.
Okay. I got to figure out where I'm going. Well, I was going to take him in prequel character. And I'm a little less concerned about that.
Yeah,
now.
Both of us have now drafted prequel. Did you take Maul in villain or prequel?
Prequel.
Okay, so both of us have taken a prequel. So basically all the prequel characters that don't appear in anything else are yours. Well, unless we take them in.
Yeah, you guys could take them somewhere else, though.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really wanted to. So I haven't taken a villain yet. And I took Vader in OG Trilogy, right? Ooh, fascinating. Yeah. All right, in villain, Darth Maul's off the board. I got to read that on my sheet. Ooh, I'm gonna go with my boy. Going with my guy, Kylo Ren. In villain.
Talk about Star Wars tattoos, right?
Gotta represent for the Star Wars tattoos.
Gotta do it.
Gotta do it. I had fascinating interaction with someone on TikTok the other day, and they were like, "You probably don't like Star Wars," and I was like, "I have a tattoo of Kylo Ren," and they were like, "You proved my point." And I was like, "I don't understand what that means." I love Kylo Ren. I think he's easily the most intricate, thematically complex character to come out of the sequel trilogy. I would go so far as to argue, like, in the entirety of Star Wars. I talked about this on the Rolling Tape Pod, but like, there's so much extra content with Kylo Ren when it comes to the comics. There's such great storytelling. I'm reading my way through the Kylo Ren Vader series right now, and that comic book run does more in the first issue for Kylo Ren and understanding his complete obsession with Vader, the past, all the people who have positively and negatively impacted his life than the entire movie does of Rise of Skywalker, which is incredibly frustrating. And I love his arc predominantly about like constantly feeling so close to making the decision that he feels destined to make and join back to the light side, only to be pulled further back in by his own hubris to the Sith and say, this, I can make something greater. I can make something better. We just talked about Starkiller Base, right? Like even that moment in The Last Jedi when he goes to Snoke for the first time and Snoke tells him to take off that stupid mask. Like, he wants so badly to be like Darth Vader. He wants so badly to be like the predecessor that made the Empire what it was, so he can take the First Order and make it better. I love Kylo Ren. He's my guy.
It's a great pick.
Yeah, I think he's great pick, and those first 2 movies / the comics really do so much for him. that I feel kind of gets lost in the end, but especially in The Last Jedi, anything with his struggle there is just so strong.
Yeah, man, I just like what happens in the sequel, or what happens in Rise of Skywalker when him and Rey have their moment, and he was like, "We were a dyad in the Force." That 15 seconds, I was like, we could have had greatness. We could have had Duel of the Fates. We could have had something truly meaningful. And I think that idea of a dyad in the Force is great. Okay, so we've got villain. Nobody's got a planet yet.
So many planets to choose from.
Yeah.
So many planets to choose from. Weapon, I feel really confident. It's really prequel and sequel. So I had Kylo for a sequel character as well. But you know what? I'm going to have a little bit of fun here for a second. And for sequel character, I'm going to go BB-8. I'm going to draft a droid. I think BB-8 is a super cool droid. I love his build out. I love his look. I love that he is a round droid. I think that works so well on all of the planets that they visit in the sequel trilogy, and just flying around on the sand, I think is really cool. He has a great dynamic with R2, and obviously he has a great companionship with Rey. And I love BB-8. And I think that's one thing that Disney got right for like the merchification of the sequel trilogy. Like BB-8's really cute, and I think they nailed that character design.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
I like this pick. As you two know, I tried to slightly advocate for a droid category.
You did.
So I am pro droid here. And I'm surprised that he's the first droid to be drafted today.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think it's fair. I just like BB-8, you know?
Yeah.
He's a cool guy. Adorable guy. Yeah, really cute.
Very functional.
Very functional. He's got a great thumbs up lighter emoji going on, you know? He can do it all. Love BB-8. Okay.
Sequel character here. Is that what I want to go with?
I don't know. Is it what you want to go with?
No, there's so many.
I had another good sequel character. I might draft him in Wildcard. Who's to say?
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go Wildcard.
Oh, interesting.
Only because I don't think I can have it as a weapon, technically. I guess you guys could change that for me.
Okay.
The Force.
So,
is it a weapon?
Here's what I'll say. I don't think it is. I did see it on lists online. I think like Collider had a list where it was ranked, but I think the Force is the Force. I think it's I think that getting it in wild card makes a lot more sense.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I just didn't feel like it went anywhere else really. Weapon is the only maybe thing, but even then, I'm like, if I feel like it gets used more defensively than offensively. Like it's not much of a weapon. So yeah,
there's
I'll take
one other place you could take it though.
Where else did you put it?
I mean, we said we were going to get weird when it comes to the Hear Me Out.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. I guess that is very true.
That's very true. Oh, okay. Now I see where we're at with our minds. Now I see where we're going with that category.
All right, cool. I like that.
Yeah, I think the Force in Wildcard is
I think that's the best place for it.
Cool. All right, yeah, I'll take the Force.
Are you more of a weaponized Force guy or a defensive Force guy? Like if you were in Star Wars, do you think you'd be, pushing and pulling people all the time or healing?
No, I just want to keep people away from me. I just use it as a force field around me, just like go away. So yeah, more passive.
Yeah. To think that they introduced Force healing and I didn't bat an eye, and I was just like, this is lame as shit. Sucks. Speaking of Force healing, by the way, Mando Grogu, it's back.
All right.
That's where it started, though. It first started in Mando.
I know,
Grogu.
that's true.
In like in episode 2 or something, or season 2.
Yeah.
And then the week afterwards, they were like,
Rise of Skywalker. Yeah. How thrilling. Oh, man. Good pick. Okay. Daniel, you got 2 picks, man.
I do. And I know where I'm going first. This one, I'm just glad I get him. Because if I can't have Han Solo, I'm going with kind of the second best option here. It's Cassian Andor. Cassian Andor, I think, takes what they were doing with Han Solo and makes him a little bit darker. Especially we get to see I know we don't get on this drafting board the Andor TV show, but explore what he gets to explore in the TV show makes him, I think, the most important person to the Resistance, more important than Luke Skywalker, more important than General Leia Organa. Without Cassian, I mean, maybe you could say there are other people that like put Cassian in his positions, but I think without Cassian, we would not be able to do what we are able to do just watching Rogue One. We don't even have to look at the TV show. And I think that his performance, Diego Luna, is just it's so subtle, so nuanced. It feels un-Star Warsy, but in the best of ways. I think a lot of the performances in there, and I know that we got both Gareth Edwards and Tony Gilroy directing there, but he just brings a groundedness that we don't often get to see in Star Wars, and I love that character a lot.
Definitely
it's a great pick. Yeah. Cassian's
I
fantastic.
love Andor. I think Rogue One's a great movie. Just a really, really great movie. Only made better by the television series as well.
It is my third favorite Star Wars movie. Thanks to Letterboxd.
Shout out Letterboxd if you're listening.
Shout out.
You can sponsor us. No free ads. Okay, Cassian Andor. Good pick, man.
Thanks. Okay.
Are you taking him in Hero, by the way? Is that where you're taking him?
I'm taking him in Hero.
Okay. Just wanted to verify.
Yeah, I mean, I figured that both Solo and Rogue One did not count as sequel characters, right?
Yeah.
They came out during the same time, but they did not count in there. You both have vehicle, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great.
Millennium Falcon and the Death Star drafted so far.
Yeah. Y'all did good work there. If you want to, we'll go. I'll go to. I'm picking between Planet and Hear Me Out because I want to open up those doors.
Okay, I want you to go Hear Me Out because I am deeply fascinated.
Okay.
Also, but don't let me sway you. Don't let me sway you, Daniel.
I want to try this out. Okay. I want to try, and you two can let me know if this is okay.
Okay.
Hear Me Out. The midichlorians.
Okay.
Which we know can procreate. Right? Like if we think about who Anakin Skywalker's parents actually are, it's through the midichlorians. It's and I don't know. I mean, the midichlorians, if you get a high count, it means a lot of good things. I mean, if I saw the midichlorians at a bar, I'd go up to them and I'd see if they wanted to hang out.
I respect that, actually. I think you're thinking beyond scope here, and I really admire that.
Okay, Ben, are you counting this? Does this work?
Yeah, I'm good with it just because it's not what I wanted to pick, and I'm worried you would take what I wanted.
Honestly, I think I know what you wanted to pick, and that was my number one pick before you mentioned the Force, and then I was like, wait, the Force could be in the Hear Me Out, so then I went midichlorians, because if I can't have the Force, midichlorians
that makes sense.
Thing.
Yeah. Wow, okay. Yeah, I love that for you. Midichlorians.
Hear Me Out, off the board.
Off the board, we got our first Hear Me Out. Fascinating time in Star Wars lore. They were just like, more midichlorians the better, right? It's like, yeah, we all just agreed. We're just like, yeah, sure, you got it. Okay. Wow, Cassian Andor and midichlorians drafted. Ultimate 1-2 punch.
All right. Hear Me Out.
Oh, damn it.
L3 from Solo, Star Wars.
Damn it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's a great pick. It's an incredible pick.
I think this is one of the most sexual characters in Star Wars. By no means a coincidence that she's with Lando, you know. There's so much sexual chemistry between them in that movie. Someone even asked, like, how does that work? And L3's just like, it works. Like, listen, if L3 can keep Lando happy, that guy is like been around, you know, and if they've got what it takes, and who am I to judge? So I'll take L337 in Hear Me Out.
This is not where I thought you were gonna go. Because I thought you were gonna go weirder. I thought this one feels a little bit more in line with the Leia of it all. I on my list I have we'll go through what didn't get drafted.
Yeah.
I went weird. I went weirder. So we'll see.
I'm excited to hear. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's a really good hear me out. I'm doing some research on the fly, guys. Okay. Because now I gotta figure out where I lie on the hear me out. But I guess it doesn't really matter because you guys have drafted. Okay. I have 2 picks, right? Jeez.
Yeah.
I don't like being on the turn for this draft. It's too much pressure.
It's a lot.
Well, since I can't draft them and hear me out because it's not really a hear me out, I'm going to be taking Padme Amidala in prequel characters. Amazing stuff, especially when we get to Revenge of the Sith, obviously. I think great Natalie Portman performance. And, I'll just say our background for our group chat, Padme Amidala. So, yeah.
I like it. Great pick.
Gotta respect.
Really good one.
If Maul was gone, that's who I would have gone with. So.
Oh, okay, cool. That would have been your second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Feel good about that. Now I have another pick. I got planet, weapon, hear me out, and wild card. What do we do, guys? Where do we go?
I'm honestly planning ahead for my pick, so I can't be much help to you. I'm trying to figure out what I want to
You're thinking
go
about your
next.
own?
Yeah.
Okay. I've got to hear me out. Let's draft a hear me out. I'm going to draft and hear me out Maz Kanata.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
I dig it.
I think Maz is a real freak and she knows it. She gets down to it and she knows that she can swing with the best of them. I believe she's got a prior history with Han, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
She alludes to. And I would. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm with you.
Okay. We're all aligned on Maz.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I like that.
All right. Is it me?
I'm going a little sequel heavy on my team. Yeesh.
I think it's a good lineup. I think both of you have some really excellent lineups here.
Yeah.
I'm about to go sequel as well. Not sequel character, but I'm gonna go. It's my turn, right? I think.
Yep.
I'm good. Okay.
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna go with weapon, and I'm going to do the Holdo maneuver.
Ooh, interesting.
Is that a weapon?
I mean, I feel
It's
like it was
used
used
as
to
a weapon.
attack.
It was used as a weapon, but that's a ship. It's a maneuver.
It's a one in a million shot, but it works.
One in a million, Doc. 1 in a million. I would approve.
Okay.
I would approve. Because technically you're taking a vehicle and you're applying a maneuver to it that would then be a weapon.
Yeah.
The maneuver itself, I would not describe as a weapon. The ship is used as a weapon by the maneuver. But look,
I don't
I'm
disagree.
a guest in this house.
I'm thinking of I'm thinking of the public. If I just put the Radis on there, they're gonna be like, what the fuck is the Radis? It's the Holdo maneuver. You might know it better as that. So if you'll indulge me to try and get some more votes, I would like to refer to it as the Holdo maneuver.
No, all good. All good.
I'll allow. I will put Radis on the sheet. So that way people are not mad,
Yeah.
It is the MC-85 Star Cruiser, I believe as well, is the technical term for this ship. Holdo maneuver, when it goes silent, I don't want to say, but real Oppenheimer vibes on this one, where it's just
Great shit.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Where we just cut all the sound and watch something incredible happen.
So good.
Okay. Normally I save wild card till the end of drafts that I do. But we talked about her earlier and I want to make sure I have her. And so I'm going with Ahsoka Tano for my wild card pick.
Okay.
I love Ahsoka. I think she's great, especially in the cartoon, which I know I don't have, but I think that it was, if we look at the movie that she's in, it is really interesting seeing Anakin as uh, a mentor to someone. Ethan, I'm noticing a question here. Are you questioning the choice?
Not at all. Not questioning the choice.
Okay.
I am frankly a little bit jealous, and I just wish she was more prominent in the films.
Yeah. I mean, I think she's really an interesting thing to add. She's she was not liked when she first came out. Like in the Clone Wars movie, people do not like her because she does the thing that happens in every Spielberg film, which is very plucky, very like questioning everything, getting into messes. But it's really interesting seeing Anakin having to be a mentor to a younger person. And then we get to see her go on this lovely journey and turn against the Jedi Order in a way that Anakin, like the opposite of the way that Anakin does. And it's really interesting seeing this kind of like black and white image between Vader and Ahsoka.
Daniel, have you seen all of Clone Wars, the TV show?
Yeah.
Should I watch it?
Yes, but there's actually some really helpful guides on the internet where you can like skip some episodes. Like I'll be like with Rebels, you should watch every episode. With Clone Wars, I think there are some things where I mean, I love Rex. I love, I did
like
have
Cody
on my long
and
list.
all of those stormtroopers.
I had them on my long list, but I don't think you need to watch all of their adventures together. I think once you get to their TV show that is really strong, I would recommend that. But
is that Bad Batch?
Bad Batch, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, it's so much out there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Star Wars out there, and it's really hit or miss. And so there are many people that have gone being like, okay, episode 1 through 6, you don't have to watch because it's just like Yoda bopping around doing weird adventures. But especially once you get past like season 3, then everything is a banger.
Dope. Okay, I might have to indulge. Might have to go down this path.
I recommend it.
Okay. Well, you do have one more pick.
Frick. Yes, I do.
Babu Freak.
Babu Freak? Babu?
I mean,
listen, I still got my sequel category open. Like, I love my guy.
He's shortlisted for me.
I love my guy.
Yeah.
So I have to. I look at my board, and I do think that I have maybe a weaker lineup here than others, and so I have to draft with my heart, and I have to remember that my cat has a middle name. That a lot of people don't know. This is true. I have to remember this. Her name is Suki Rey. Suki, named after the Kyoshi warrior from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Rey, after I think one of the most interesting characters that Star Wars introduced. And although I think drafting Rey means that maybe I'm giving up my place on the number one position, because I know that the internet is full of people who just don't understand. I think Rey is so cool. I think Rey, especially in, again, I keep on harping on The Last Jedi, but Force Awakens and Last Jedi did some wonderful things for this character that I feel like JJ kind of threw to the dust in Rise of Skywalker. But I just think that she's such an interesting, wonderful character.
Yeah. Are you taking her in sequel category?
And that's what I got left. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. She was on my short list as well. I think Rey is phenomenal. My daughters did go through a phase when the Star Wars movies were coming out. They didn't see them, but they knew Rey. Obviously, every time, we're in Target, you see Rey on boxes for toys and like whatever, where every single day they wanted their hair done to look like Rey because Rey was so cool. And like that to me is just like unbeatable. I think Rey as a character is phenomenal. Love this pick for you.
Great pick.
I love Rey. She's so cool. Okay.
Two
Two very powerful female characters on your team, one after the other, Daniel.
Yeah.
Wow,
solid.
look at you.
Star Wars does not have a lot of them, unfortunately. So
you gotta take them while you can.
Those two are Yaddle, like that's that. Those are my options.
Those are your options, right? Yeah. Shucks.
Dang. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we were joking about it, but I fucking love Babu Frick. I'm gonna take him in my sequel character.
I love it.
I thought you would, man. I love Babu Frick. He's so cool.
It's hilarious.
Now, the Mandalorian and Grogu has a bunch of Babu Fricks. Am I correct about this?
Yes, they're essentially the same species. They're in Zelens, I believe, and they are a small group of them. What they do and what purpose they serve in the film, I could not answer for you.
Plushies.
Yeah, I do think so. Which, you know what? Shout out them. They're really cute. So, yeah. They often take up tech jobs as the droid smith Babu Frick does during the New Republic era.
Cool.
You know, that's one thing, since you brought it up again, that's one thing about The Mandalorian and Grogu where I did walk away having a clear identification that The Mandalorian doesn't work for anybody. He works for the New Republic. I think that line is echoed about 18 times in the movie where they're like, you work for the Hutts. And he's like, I don't. I work for the New Republic. I'm like, now I understand. Okay. Babu Frick off the board. Yeah. Could you repeat that? I didn't really catch it the first 12 times. Okay. So what do I have left? This is getting to be quite a fun draft. I've got planet, weapon, and wild card. Nobody's done planet yet. Is that because we're scared? Is that because we feel confident? Then we'll all get the one we want. What's the holdup here?
I don't want to break the seal. I want to see what you guys are doing here.
Okay.
I think that voters will look at humans before they look at planets. And like, if I, all of them are pretty, like the ones that I have on my list, all of them are recognizable. And so I don't think it's going to hinder or, get in the way of a win.
Okay. The way that I looked at planet, I was like, A, which ones are the coolest? B, which one would I actually want to visit? Is kind of like the way that I thought about the planet category. So some things that I think are prominently Star Wars, like Tatooine or Hoth, I was like, do I really want to go to a desert planet? Do I really want to be on Mos Eisley? Like, do I really just want to be scavenging around, looking for a drink? Not really. So I don't want to break the seal on planet either. I really, really want one of you to do it. With that in mind, I'm going to go to weapon so I can buy myself a minute on the wild card front here. And in weapon, I'm going to be drafting the Bellari Electro Chain Whip. Now, you might be asking yourself, what is the Bellari Electro Chain Whip? This is the weapon that the Praetorian Guards don in The Last Jedi during the fight in Snoke's room. And when it goes up against Rey or Kylo's lightsaber, it has like sections that chunk into different angles and they can wrap it around their arms. And it's fucking sick. It is ultimately one of the coolest weapons, I think. So that's what I'm drafting here.
Nice.
Great fight scene.
Super cool fight scene. I don't know, like, vote-wise, if this is really going to help me, but that's okay. I don't think people will know what this is. But it's a cool weapon. Okay.
Where are you going next?
I don't know.
Break the seal.
Planet's right there for you.
I don't want to do play. I don't want to break it because then I feel like you guys are going to be like, yeah, okay, cool pick. Like, I wanted to. I actually do feel like there's a lot riding on planet. I mean, wildcard. There's some prominent characters that have not been drafted.
That's true.
Yeah.
Huge characters.
I'm looking at I have a long list of wild cards here.
I'm gonna get a little bit wild on the wild card here. I'm not gonna go with any of those prominent categories. For wild card, I'm gonna be drafting Director Krennic. This is obviously prominent in the Andor series, and prominent in Rogue One. But ultimately, I think Director Krennic is a huge catalyst for what Andor as a character is able to accomplish and the faults of the technical system within the Empire and the roles and responsibilities that are attributed to high up individuals that might not have a sense of the scope of what they're trying to accomplish. And I love Krennic. I think he's great. Ben Mendelsohn, one of our goats, one of our guys here on the pod. I'm going to be taking him in wildcard.
Honestly, that was about to be my next pick. So great job.
No.
There we go. That's
No
I have
way.
Villain and Planet left. I have Villain and Planet.
Oh, let's
Ben
go.
Mendelsohn, come on. Yeah.
The Ben stamp of approval.
Yeah.
I love that. Anytime Krennic's on screen, I'm like, this is going to be a good scene. You know, like I just feel like he brings it. Okay, Ben.
Okay, so that means it's on me. All right.
I've saved Planet, picking my planet for the very last pick of the draft.
There we go.
Even more pressure.
I'm gonna go villain. This person's pretty notorious, and I think kind of like, you know, he's obviously. I'm gonna go with Jabba, and it's very like mafia gangster.
Yeah.
Kind of in the sense that, like, with The Godfather, you're not afraid of Don Corleone himself. Like, he's not going to get up and punch you, but you're afraid of what he can do. And I think that's Jabba. Like, Jabba's not going to actually do anything to you. He can't do anything, but he's got the means and the contacts and the people to get stuff done. I mean, yeah, I don't know. He's iconic. I think one of the first villains we meet in the whole universe, as far as the movies are concerned. So we know, like, Han's on the run from him and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit of vibes. I know it's not like anyone that's got a lightsaber or, you know, anything like that, but Jabba's kind of a iconic villain, I think, in Star Wars. So I'm gonna go with him.
For sure. Jabba the Hutt was going to be my hear me out. And I have a really good reason, because he keeps a lot of scantily dressed slaves near him. He probably knows how to get real weird, and I'm sure he's into some real freak shit.
Probably. Without a doubt.
So, along with the good villain pick, you know, I'm sure he's got a great backstory there waiting to be explored in the next theatrical film.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, they love the Hutts, don't they? So
It's true.
God, I know. Holy shit. We are so Hutt focused now in Star Wars. I don't understand it. Good pick.
Okay. I have my final two picks here. Okay, I'm going to start with Planet. I'm going to open up the seal here.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to the planet that I think is one of the most important planets when it comes to Star Wars, because it really shows the stakes of Star Wars. So I'm going with Alderaan. And because I think without this, we wouldn't know how powerful the Death Star truly is. And we wouldn't see how powerful the Empire and what Tarkin is able, like the weaponization of this. I mean, it came out of nowhere, basically, right? Just to get information from Leia. And Alderaan, I think, is maybe not where I want to visit because it's gone, but it is. I think when it comes to stakes, that you can't beat it.
Yeah.
It's a great pick.
Important planet. Very important planet.
And my final pick of the draft, I'm going to vehicle because it's the only thing I have left. And when it comes to iconic vehicles, of course, the Millennium Falcon is the first thing we think of. But we also think of, at least I think of Slave One. And I think they renamed it recently. Yeah. So I don't know what the new name is. But, man, when we see that in Episode 5, it's so cool. And like loading in Han Solo's body into it. So I think there was other like generic picks I could have gone with, but this is the one that has like a real name. Razor Crest was on my mind, but Razor Crest is in the TV show. So we're going with Slave One.
Yes.
I mean, I think you could technically draft Razor Crest if it's in Mando and Grogu.
It's not, because Razor Crest is destroyed after like the original Razor Crest is in season 1, and then it gets
got it.
Yeah.
Okay. That goes to show what I know about the film that I watched. So yeah, I think it is. I think we're just gonna put Boba Fett's starship. I believe it's sometimes referred to as fire spray as well, but I'm not familiar with that. So we'll just go with Boba Fett's starship and keep it in line with the new naming convention here.
Love it.
Sick ship. Really dope design. Really, really cool. Okay. Then you got a planet.
Yeah, I'm just gonna talk through my thoughts here because like I had some that came up. Like Hoth came up first. But, like that's a nightmare. Like I don't want to actually be on
See?
Hoth. Like it's
You really want
cool,
to be on a planet
but
with
like
wampas? I don't think so.
yeah,
You know?
no, I don't want to be there. And in a similar vein, Scarif. I'm like Scarif's cool. I love the red that comes up, under the salt. Like that shit's rad, but like it just kind of looks like salt flats and
Oh
being in
yeah,
Utah,
great.
like I've been around it enough, so I don't need that.
I'm good.
Um,
Okay.
so yeah, I'm kind of stuck between a two. And I think what I'm gonna take for the aesthetic of it all is Bespin, the city in the clouds. I think that's what I'm gonna go with. It's very modern, very clean. It just seems like kind of a cool place to be. Like if that's where Lando's at, then like it's probably cool to be there. Like there's probably shit going on. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna go with Bespin. There doesn't feel like there's a lot of people dying in Bespin, so it seems like a safe
Okay.
place. So
I think that's a very wise decision when picking a planet. Like, are the chances of murder here high or not?
yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Now there was Darth Vader waiting on Bespin for
That's
them.
true.
Like,
Maybe
he
not the most
was-
loyal people living there, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Big on mining. Interesting. A thin layer of breathable atmosphere on Bespin known as the life zone. So you got to stay within the life zone, dude.
Gotta stay there.
Okay. Good to know. Human and Ugnaughts. Those are pretty much all that inhabit Bespin. Okay. I've got my final pick. This is the end of the line, boys. This is the end of the Star Wars draft, and I have a planet to draft. What
I have a good
shall
feeling
we
about
take?
this.
I got a bad feeling about this. Okay, let's walk through the options here. So, Ben, you mentioned Crate with the red sands and the salt. We get the Battle of Crate. I think is
I did.
one of the
I think
best.
I referred to it as Scarif, and I apologize to everyone out there that's yelling at me. I'm not talking about Scarif, obviously. I'm talking about Crate. So
Right. I just wanted to adhere to the population of Scarif and let them know that they are seen, as well as the population of Crate.
Beautiful,
listening.
beautiful place.
So we've got Crate, where the Battle of Crate obviously happens in Last Jedi. Dagobah is on the list. This is obviously where Luke is trained by Yoda. You guys are out on Dagobah. I see.
Looks humid as shit.
Swampy.
My hair would go crazy there. So
I don't.
I mean,
love going
Luke-
to Florida.
yeah.
Like,
Luke is in a tank like the whole time, sweating balls. So yeah, I think Dagobah's out. Part of me wants to draft Cantobite as like a bit. It's also like a pretty premier planet, right? Like some nice casinos. We've got great beach available, great viewpoints. But I will say it is ultimately a planet within commercial despair. Like it is ran by billionaire elites. Not where I want to be. Not what I want to be associated with. So we're going to skip on Cantobite. We've got Hoth. We mentioned Hoth. I don't want to be with the Wampas, and I don't want to be at a base in the snow.
Yeah.
You guys said Star Killer Base is available. I'm not going to draft that. I don't want to be there either. Scarif, beautiful place. If I draft Scarif, however, I do know my fate is sealed. Scarif blows up.
Scarif doesn't completely blow up. So Scarif.
Okay.
So Scarif does, because the weapon is not fully powered up when Scarif gets blasted. So much of Scarif does get blasted up. But the first planet to actually be completely destroyed is Alderaan. Scarif is like, it's not at full
a little bit
power
of a test
yet.
run. Okay.
Test run.
Okay.
Which Krennic gets to watch in a front row seat.
That's true. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I've got a few other ones on the short list. I've got Naboo. Naboo seems like a chill spot. You guys are out on Naboo.
Well, just
all right.
Do you want to, speak like Nabooans while you draft it, or you want to be speaking some Gungan?
Misa wants to draft Naboo. Tatooine. I'm not huge on Tatooine. I know if you're going for Star Wars like prominence, Tatooine is where you want to be.
Binary Suns. Yeah,
I know, but like, it's just one big fucking desert, man, and you're just living in huts. No thanks.
Yeah.
You got a pod race to try to and you got to deal with all these other animals, and it's not worth it to me. Endor. Forest could be nice.
Also technically a moon.
It's the moon of. Yeah.
I know, guys. I know. It's still a planet, even if it's a moon.
I don't think that's how it works.
It's livable, but it's a moon.
Okay. I got two other ones: Coruscant and Mustafar.
Mustafar's a nightmare. That's crazy.
I did have Coruscant on my on my short list here. One big city. It's insane. It's not where I would want to live. Like, I like the size of Chicago. It's good, but this is like Tokyo times 1,000.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Mustafar's sick as shit though, dude. It's like a volcanic planet.
Tear it up. I'm not stopping you.
Go for it.
No, I can't. I can't take that and Darth Vader. That's Darth Vader's headquarters is on Mustafar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. I'm good. I got it covered. Okay. I'm gonna take I'll just go against all better judgment. I'm gonna take Tatooine.
Go for it, man. I like it.
I think it's iconic enough that it's a good pick.
Has to be picked. You got it. Binary Suns. That's as good as it gets in Star Wars.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll take Tatooine as my planet, and I will complete the Star Wars character draft here on the Movie Draft Podcast. How you guys feeling? Good exercise? Fun time?
Yeah, this actually went faster than I thought it was. This is crazy. Yeah.
Me too. We blew through these categories. I thought for sure there would be much more animosity between picks, but it seems like we are all very, emotionally aligned gentlemen who respect each other's opinions. Who would have thought on the Movie Draft Pod? Let's read through our teams, and then we'll go through some honorable mentions as well. And then I do want to allot a few minutes at the end to just rifle off any Star Wars at large opinions, thoughts, things you need to get off your chest. We'll use this as a little bit of a hearing booth. So I drafted first. I got Darth Vader in OG Trilogy, Luke Skywalker in Hero, Millennium Falcon in Vehicle, Kylo Ren in Villain, BB-8 in Sequel, Padme Amidala in Prequel, Maz Kanata in Hear Me Out, the Bellari Electro Chain Whip in Weapon. I chose Director Krennic in Wildcard, and Tatooine for my planet. Ben, what is yours?
I have Han Solo for my hero, Princess Leia Organa for the OG trilogy, the Death Star as my vehicle choice, Darth Maul for the prequel character, the Force for my wild card, L337 for my Hear Me Out, Holdo Maneuver for the weapon, Babu Frick as my sequel character, Jabba as my villain, and Bespin for my planet.
Okay. What about you, Daniel?
I have Obi-Wan Kenobi for OG Trilogy, Anakin Skywalker for prequel, Emperor Palpatine for villain, Lightsaber in Weapon, Cassian Andor in Hero, Midichlorians in Hear Me Out, Ahsoka Tano in Wildcard, Rey in Sequel, Alderaan in Planet, and Boba Fett's Starship in Vehicle.
Okay. I love it. I think we all have a nice varied team. I'm extremely curious what side of Star Wars social media this ends up on and who ends up dominating the vote here. Because I think we all have great things that are integral to Star Wars for sure. Honorable mentions? What do you guys got?
I mean, from the sequels, there's obviously like Finn and Poe. Thought about Poe, but like I already had Han. I'm like, I don't need his carbon copy really. Like we're okay on that. And then as a joke, I thought about taking the Daniel Craig Stormtrooper from Force Awakens. Like I thought that'd be kind of funny just to have that one. I think it's like HN 1824 or something, but I was like, nah, it's a little too inside baseball, I think. But
that's funny.
We got a lot of good stuff out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I by category, OG trilogy character R2D2 I think is iconic. With sequels, Finn, Vice Admiral Holdo. We talked about her maneuver, but I actually think that she's like a cool introduction. And then I also said that one character played by Kerry Russell. Don't know her name, but she shows up there. Hero, I also thought, Yoda was not drafted here at all.
Wild.
Mace Windu not drafted. K2SO and Jyn Erso also came up on my mind.
Love K2SO. Yeah.
For villain, I thought Grand Moff Tarkin and Count Dooku might come up. Tarkin really shows the bureaucracy side of the Empire there.
Mm-hmm.
Vehicle, I thought AT or ATST or Pod Racer.
I had Pod Racer on my short list as well.
Yeah, Pod Racer. Now this is pod racing, I almost wore my pod racing. I have like 4 different vintage Star Wars shirts. So I almost wore my pod racing one.
Nice.
This one is just on the back. It has the Death Star.
Sweet.
Hear me out. This is where I thought we were going.
Okay.
Sebulba.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dexter Jexter. Multiple hands.
Yeah.
He got 6 hands.
Multiple hands.
He can make.
He's
me
like
a
an
meal
enlarged
afterwards.
frog,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, but he can make me a meal afterwards. He runs a cafe. We got to be thinking about like aftercare.
It's true. That's true.
That's true. Apparently, he worked closely with Maz Kanata. What do you know?
Oh,
Look at that. Validated. There we go.
And then Asajj Ventress is someone who is like, she's too. I know it's weird to call a cartoon character hot, but like she's too hot to be an actual hear me out. But her chemistry with Obi-Wan Kenobi is great. Also, Chewbacca, Qui-Gon Jinn, and General Grievous are the final ones that I have down there.
Wow, General Grievous. Yeah. Wow, you're big into the multiple hands, Daniel.
You know what?
Looking for more fingers, huh?
They can be useful.
Yeah.
Those were my wild cards, not my hear me outs when I was going through those.
Oh, okay. I thought that was your hear me out. Okay, yeah. I mean, we kind of mentioned all the big ones. I think like kind of crazy C-3PO, R2-D2, Yoda not drafted, Chewbacca not drafted. Yeah. I had Mon Mothma as an OG trilogy character. I also like love her storyline in Andor. I had a Wampa and a Tauntaun for OG characters as well. I don't know if you guys would have allowed for animals, but nonetheless, we talked about General Grievous. Mace Windu, prequel character, sees a tough death out the window there. Snoke for villain, I'd Count Dooku. Boba Fett, not mentioned as well. Vehicle, I had an X-wing, a TIE interceptor. I think Kylo's TIE interceptor is really cool. And then a speeder bike, I think is really really cool.
Yeah.
And then just some like other, I guess, sequel character, General Hux, I think is great as well in the sequel trilogy. And then some wild cards. I had Kira, Jabba the Hutt we talked about and was drafted. Ayla Secura and Ula. These are 2 Twi'leks that show up in the OG trilogy. I'm a big Twi'lek guy, so I would have drafted them, except nobody knows who they are because they just are in the background with Jabba the Hutt. So it is what it is.
I like it.
Yeah. Pretty
solid list.
Pretty impressive list. Pretty good draft. I mean, 10 categories deep, and I think we did some good work. I think we got some nice things from the bottom, rose to the top, and I think we got a great display of the breadth and the depth of Star Wars. Any general Star Wars thoughts to get off your hearts and your minds before we get out of here?
Well, I was curious if y'all have your rankings like quickly available, if I could hear what your personal Star Wars rankings are.
Oh,
I do.
Oh yeah, I do.
I have mine pulled up actually.
You want to know? Huh? Well, I think Daniel, if you're asking, maybe you should go first.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
This is just, I know that Letterboxd has like a bunch of the shows on there, but I don't believe in the limited series on Letterboxd. So I agree. I'm just going movies here. 12, I have Rise of Skywalker, 1 star for me. Clone Wars, the animated movie, at 11. Attack of the Clones, 10. 9 is Phantom Menace. 8 is Solo: A Star Wars Story. Sorry about that, Ben.
That's brutal, guy.
I'm so sorry about that. 7 is Revenge of the Sith. 6 is Force Awakens. 5 is Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, an amazing film that actually I like a little bit less because I like the show so much.
Yeah. Fair.
4, Return of the Jedi. Great film. Last Jedi at number 3. Star Wars number 2, and Empire Strikes Back at number 1. Those last 2 are both 5-star films for me.
Nice.
Wow. Okay. That's a good ranking. It's a good one.
Yeah, I like it.
Ben, what about you?
11, Attack of the Clones. 10, Phantom Menace. 9, Return of the Jedi. 8, The Rise of Skywalker. 7, Revenge of the Sith. 6, Solo, A Star Wars Story. 5 is Star Wars The Force Awakens. 4 is Star Wars A New Hope. 3, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. 2, Star Wars The Last Jedi. And number 1, The Empire Strikes Back.
Let's go. That's great.
Wow. Okay. In 12, I have Mandalorian and Grogu. In 11, I've got The Phantom Menace. 10, Attack of the Clones. 9, Rise of Skywalker. Number 8 is Star Wars A New Hope. Number 7 is Solo, A Star Wars Story. Number 6, Return of the Jedi. Number 5, The Force Awakens. Number 4, Revenge of the Sith. Number 3, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. Number 2, Empire Strikes Back. And number 1, The Last Jedi. And I realize I probably have the most deranged list out of anybody. And I will not be swayed one way or another. This is my list, and I will take it to the grave.
I like it.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm with like my people when I hear praise for The Last Jedi.
Last Jedi, great movie. Arguably one of the best things that happened to Star Wars in the last 15 years. And arguably one of the worst things to happen to Star Wars in the last 15 years. So can swing both ways. Daniel, huge thank you for joining us for the draft. Really appreciate it. If people want to find more of you, where can they find you at?
They can find me at Daniel Film Therapy on Threads, on TikTok, on Instagram, or they can listen to the Screen Guide podcast.
Love it. Ben, thanks for joining, man. This was a great time.
I had a blast. I'm off to think about me and L3.
a wonderful droid future that you could have. Thanks to Sophie for helping co-create this podcast as well. We are recording the day that Sophie was announced as the winner of the Space Movies auction draft, and I lost by 1 vote. So frankly, it doesn't count and will not be recorded as her win. Next week on the pod, we're going on a date. I'm going on a date, and my 2 guests, we're going to be drafting date movies. Myself, along with the hosts of the Dial M for Movies podcast, Khadija Osman and Olivia Howell. Wonderful people. Met them at TIFF last year. They have their own pod, and we thought, you know what, let's draft together and talk about date movies. We have some extremely interesting categories of movies that would be good in different date scenarios. So anything is applicable. You just got to give your argument, and I can speak for myself. Things will be deranged on my part, and I can't wait to explain why Megalopolis is actually the perfect dinner after a movie to have on a date. It's going to be really fun. Be sure to listen and subscribe to the Movie Draft Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. We're also now on YouTube with video. New episodes will be released weekly on Tuesdays. We'll see you then.